Grief is the appropriate response to life not being as it's supposed to be. Grief is really appropriate to the loss or death of someone or some aspect of your life. What you dreamed would be, the marriage you lost, the people you lost, the job you didn't get, the job you were let go of, anything. And it could be easy, and I'll tell you this, it could be really easy to compare griefs, and I'll just tell you, we all just have them. And feeling them is really appropriate. And if you don't, this is why you have to. If you don't, you will look for relief elsewhere, or you will get stuck at the stage you were in, and you're gonna keep reacting to all of life's circumstances based on where you were stuck in your grief. So if you never grieved, went through the anger, you're noticing anger in you, depression in you, sorrow in you. I appreciate Rick Warren adding to the conversation quite a bit because he lost his son to suicide. So he brings a whole other understanding to the grieving process. He came up with 6 stages of grief. He says, first, it's just shock, then into sorrow, then into a struggle, a wrestle. And he says, this is where your why questions are really appropriate. Bring them. They're not off limits. He said, it wasn't that I questioned my faith in God. I just questioned a lot about God's plan. And that's okay. He says, then you get to this place of surrender and sanctification because you're changed. You can't go back to what you were before. And it takes place in you. And what his 6th stage is service. He says, this is that place where you don't waste your grief. He says there's no timeline. You have to take as long as it takes. There's no right way to grieve. You just keep going deeper and deeper into sadness, and Jesus is there to meet you at the bottom. And you'll find that he serves you and leads you to serve others. He says this, when you swallow grief, your stomach keeps score. If you don't talk it out, you'll take it out on your body or on other people. Another psychologist said this, grief is, this was shocking, the antidote to trauma. It's the healthier response to what we feel. Trauma leaves you stuck. Grief, when they're full of these emotions that you feel, moves you. Directionally, you cannot control. It might move you downward into dark places. It might lead you backwards into the past. It might lead you to the future of hope. It might lead you upward into the heavenly realms where you think about eternity. I've experienced all the directions of grief. And I've learned this, you can't heal what you're unwilling to feel. Pain demands to be felt. I recognize these words are hard. I even thought about what I'm leading you to. It's heavy. But I'm trusting Ecclesiastes. It's better for you. And I know this as someone that's gone through it. I feel like God's entrusted this part of my life to tell you that it's better.